We continue our 360 perspective coverage of the Electoral College, a national popular vote bill that will soon be headed to Governor Polis's desk. We've gone over the history of the Electoral College. Now, after many of you asked, we are taking a look at why it matters and how the United States is a democratic republic, not a direct democracy. It's all laid out in Article 1 of the Constitution. And that's why we're diving in tonight's 360 perspective. Let's start with the basics, a definition of each. According to dictionary.com, a democracy is a government by the people, a form of government in which the supreme power is vested in the people and exercised directly by them or by their elected agents under a free electoral system. And a republic, a state in which the supreme power rests in the body of citizens entitled to vote and is exercised by representatives chosen directly or indirectly by them. To dig deeper, let's take a look at some of the key differences between the two that Kate Broom broke down on ScienceTrends.com. Who's in charge of these governments? In a democracy, the majority is in charge. The minority has no voice. In a republic, the majority is also in charge, but the minority does have a voice. Who rules the government? In a democracy, it's the majority. In a republic, it's a majority with protections provided by the Constitution. When it comes to important elements of the government, a democracy is called the people's system. It has free elections where people decide who to put in office and has free elections where everyone can vote. In a pure or direct democracy, power is exercised directly by the people rather than through representatives. In a republic, the people still vote and have elections. The elected representatives are then expected to exercise the will of the people. But the minority is protected by rules or inalienable rights. In the United States, these are guaranteed by our Constitution. The founding fathers didn't trust a direct democracy. That's why they created the Electoral College. It's referenced in the Federalist Papers. They wanted an extra layer of protection from majority rule. In the case of the Electoral College, not just having the popular vote elect a president. James Madison worried a group of people could grow to more than 50% of the population and would violate the rights of other citizens or harm the nation as a whole. If you have a story you'd like us to cover in our 360 perspective, send an email 360@koaa.com. There you can also find other stories on the Electoral College and popular vote bill.